America Parrótt. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe, like, share this video. You're not going to want to miss this because I've got some footage that Twitter removed. And it has to do with the elections, actually in New Jersey. And it poses a really good question. But before we go any further, we have to stop and we have to take a moment and celebrate. Today, happy 601st day since they told you. Only 14 days. Mask it up. Then you can go back to life as normal. You guys feel like a little 601-year-old child again? I know I do. It's been the best 601 days of my life because, well, I know that I have choices and I enact them daily, some by the moment even. So, you know, some strange things occurred in New Jersey and people got it on camera. Some strange things occurred at polling places all over the world while we were having elections 2 days ago. And I think, are there still places counting election votes? Because they knew at like lunchtime on election day they were going to have to recount ballots. Funny, kind of like calling a plumber and they just skipping right over what the problem is and just starts fixing it. Like they don't tell you why they even need to be fixing it or what they're fixing. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when they knew at lunchtime, well, we're going to have to recount these ballots. That's why I've not been following this minute by minute. Who has that kind of time? But before we go any further, and before I show you the footage that Twitter removed, I just want to remind you all of a timeline that happened. It started in 2016. No, December 19th, 2016, Donald J. Trump was elected president by the Electoral College. On January 9th of that following year, 2017, President Barack Obama lifted his ban against making coronavirus infectious to humans. Corona what? January 11th, 2017, Dr. Fauci said, there will be a surprise attack. January 20th, 2017, Donald J. Trump is inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. January 22nd, 2017, Bill Gates predicted a pandemic either naturally caused or intentionally caused will occur. So let's not keep you in suspense any longer. Let's see what happened in a voting booth in New Jersey as they were trying to vote for governor.
I meant to do it, and then we got so busy.
Yeah, well, busy is the word. We've got to take care of things first.
No,
I know, but they have to turn out too.
I'm not, my choice is not lighting up.
Okay, what you want to do, instead of trying to work with a box, right the middle of the name.
Okay, the middle of the name.
Yes, and hold it. See if that works.
Now, you're gonna sign in the box.
It does not work. Don't hit it, hold it.
I haven't seen you anymore.
Okay, I just have my finger on it.
Okay. I knocked on your door and I noticed nobody was home. Yeah.
That's odd.
Don't put it
Turn it. It is not. But the other candidate is doing it. That's very interesting.
Oh, you think that's bad? Well, check out what happened in Essex County, New Jersey, when a poll worker, well, I won't tell you, just watch the Verital report. Here it is.
You voted in the election in January of last year?
The presidential.
And did you register?
No, I wasn't registered either.
Are you registered now?
Oh, I never filled anything out. No.
Oh, then I can't see how you can vote because you're not registered.
Remember, I do remember him.
Okay.
Remember, we was allowing anyone to come in.
We was allowing anybody to come in and they said,
President.
Yeah, during the agenda, they just let us.
So,
Okay. I'll let you fill out a ballot now. Whether or not it's going to be, they're going to count it, I don't know.
But I don't know if it works because I'm an
It does work.
But I'm an Irish citizen. I'm not.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you have some citizenship here?
With the work visa, yeah.
Listen, we'll let you do it. They'll figure that out.
Yeah, right? This is all I have to say about all matters dealing with election, because anything else is just me, well, repeating myself, and that gets exhausting. So, you ready? Your average person sees the obvious. That at the very least, current ballot counting systems are highly inefficient in so many ways and in so many states. The thing is this. Dems can't even admit to this blatant reality because, well, the inefficiency, well, that's where the fraud lies. So, take that with a grain of salt. Do what you do with it. I don't know. But either way it goes, I'm still wondering, why do so many people flock to the polls to vote? Not voting is a vote as well, and actually speaks more volumes. Because then if no one shows up to vote, it would be very interesting to see what they would do. Because I guarantee you someone would still win. Food for thought. Meanwhile, we have meat prices here in Philly out the freaking roof, even at Save-A-Lots. I did some lounging and scrounging around and just, popping in places to check out prices, and found a pound of beef at Save-A-Lots for $13.54. I even found some previously frozen turkey legs, smoked turkey legs. Now, this was the first question that came to my mind. Where did this turkey leg come from that it needed to be frozen before it got here? And it looks very freezer burnt, and it looks like it might have either came from a sick turkey or it's been in the freezer far longer than it should have been. And why are we thawing it out and selling it on the shelves? But back to my first question, where is this turkey leg coming from that it needed to be frozen? You see, with the ports still down and places still without food stock and things like that, it makes me wonder, I don't know about you, but for myself, I've always been a label reader. Even as a child, I would read a box. While I was eating my cereal, I was reading the box. And I wasn't playing the game, I was reading. But you know what they never seem to tell you on any of your foods or anything? They'll tell you who it was distributed by, but they don't ever tell you where it came from. So if it came from the States, we shouldn't have this big of a supply chain issue, should we? Food for thought. And vaccines. Now we have more mandates, which, by the way, a mandate is not a law. But you all who continually feed into guidances and treat them as laws have told everyone that makes these mandates, well, yeah, we'll just comply. And you're still feeling resistance from your loved ones and friends, and you don't understand why. Even with you sitting and watching, headlines come true that people told you were happening already behind the scenes or would happen. I mean, they want to talk crap about Q. I never was a Q follower. Now, my fiance, he had a Twitter account that they actually deactivated. He woke up one morning and had no account, no nothing. And he was an avid Qer, and he would have them coded out. He was talking with people from all over the world about things. And one day, gone, like that, just gone. No Twitter account, no rhyme or reason as to why. But I'm kind of glad that I was never on the Q train and people had to hip me to who Q was or what it was. Because Q, we don't know if it's a man or a woman or a collective group of people, but we do know this. He's better than Nostradamus at this point. I mean, you can like that, or you can not like that, but it's fact. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. But it's very ironic as I'm sitting here watching all these vaccine things pop out now for the children. And now they're mandating it. You know, the same group, the same age group, that it's not a real threat to them. But now all of a sudden we are mandating your children be vaccinated. You know, most people that are against the vax aren't even anti-vax. They're just not for this one. So let that sink in. But I do find it ironic that millions of people love movies that celebrate rebellion and underdogs who resist the oppressions. Yet once we get into reality and real world, they obey rules without ever questioning any of the authority. Isn't that ironic? You know, I guess some people like fantasy more than they like reality, which is why it's so hard for some to break away from social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram that continually stifle you and censor you. But, you know, like I said in a blog piece I did not long ago, anybody who uses the excuse that my business would suffer, hasn't your business suffered enough? So leaving Facebook is not going to kill your business. I can assure you that. And if your business is 100% driven by talking to people online, why is your client book not backed up? You should never fully rely on technology. You know, my grandfather, he was a wise soul as well. Too bad I never got to actually meet him and sit in his presence. He passed before I was born. But my grandmother spent most of her life with him, growing as her own person and growing with, watching him grow as a person. But he always said this, and I even remember his son, my uncle, saying this to me and hearing him say it to many other people. It's never a good thing to become fully reliant on anything outside of yourself. You probably shouldn't own it if you don't know how to fix it or you don't know how to properly take care of it. The man had a point, because what are you going to do if the grid goes down? When the grid goes down? Because you know who else is really good at predicting things? The World Economic Forum, Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci. All of these people, they're all really good at predictions. They are the modern day Nostradamuses, along with Q. And you know, the last time they had a simulation and prediction, the World Economic Forum, well, we're living it now. It's been 601 days since the U.S. has been impacted and locked down tight by it. Now they're calling for, what if there was a cyber attack and like the internet got a bug, so we had to shut the internet down so that we could keep the bug from spreading? Hope you've been paying attention. But you know, this level of Hunger Games will take more people out than the coronavirus did, and here's why. We have a gap. We have a gap in knowledge and knowing and understanding. We have the group of people that I'm too old to really give two farts about technology, and I will go down the road, see the people I need to see, and they'll tell whoever, and I'll be okay. That does work. They've got great business strategy minds, because heck, they were doing it before there was technology. But then we've got this other group over here, my favorite group, the ones I call, if we give them stick shifts and cursive writing, they'll fail. Their heads will explode. Yeah. Well, they are fully reliant on something outside of themselves for everything. I mean, I'm sure many of you have jumped on that bandwagon in this group to buy the newest thing where Facebook can 3D image your room and you can have reality outside of reality. Because, you know, most of y'all don't live in reality majority of the time anyway, so I guess why start now? Eat up more time in fantasy land. But whatever, that's none of my business. But this group that's fully reliant on technology, what's you gonna do when the grid goes down? What's you gonna do when you can't YouTube how to fix something? What are you going to do when you can't Uber eat something to yourself? What are you going to do when all of your money can't be pulled from the bank because you trust that technology will always be there? What are you going to do? That's the level of Hunger Games that I can't wait. I'm going to have to buy a lot of extra popcorn for because, well, I feel like a lot of people are just going to seize up and we are going to watch them implode. That is some heavy food for thought. What are you going to do when the grid goes down? Some of you all didn't handle when the windmills froze up back in the winter. So what are you going to do? It's not always good to rely on things fully outside of yourself. It's not always good to grab this thing first to put a note in or to remind you of something because it's convenient. I know one thing. I'm the queen of sticky notes. I've been using them since I learned what they were. They are amazing. As well as planners. They're amazing too. And it's funny. I'm never late for anything. When I put it in my planner, it never disappears. And I don't have to charge my planner. It just seems to always be right where I left it, full of life and every bit of knowledge I wrote down in it. But hey, you know, I also know how to plant greens and corn and squash and all of that jazz. So, I mean, I am waiting for the matrix to break. Are you as happy as I am? Because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So I hope you're ready. The vaccine mandates, this is not me fear-mongering. These are things already happening. So it's time to get right with yourselves and figure out what it is you really want. Do you want a happy and fulfilled life that flows? Or do you want to wake up every day and have to turn your television on to know what you're mad at today? Or what other mandate did they put on us before I can leave my house? What else do I have to pack? It's up to you. You hold the key.